Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. Could the Miami Dolphins be setting their sights on cornerback Rasul Douglas as they navigate a post-Jalen Ramsey roster reshuffle? After the high-profile trade that sent Ramsey to the Pittsburgh Steelers along with tight end Jonnu Smith, Miami found themselves needing to patch some significant holes in both their secondary and tight end positions. While the tight end gap was swiftly addressed with the acquisition of the unretired Darren Waller, the cornerback situation remains fluid and uncertain. The Dolphins have been linked to a handful of cornerbacks still available on the market, with Rasul Douglas, a seasoned veteran at 29 years old, emerging as a potential target. This move would align with Miami's strategy of blending youthful talent with experienced players, especially after the earlier release of Kendall Fuller, which left additional depth concerns in the secondary. The narrative around Douglas's potential signing offers fans and analysts a storyline worth watching as training camp approaches and roster decisions begin to crystallize. Rasul Douglas's recent journey through the NFL landscape provides a solid context for why Miami might be interested in him. After being traded from the Green Bay Packers to the Buffalo Bills in 2023, Douglas stepped into a full-time starting role, gaining valuable experience and putting up respectable numbers. Over that period with Buffalo, he racked up 87 tackles and 13 pass deflections, showcasing his ability to stay active and disruptive on the field. However, his time with the Bills was a mixed bag statistically. Despite scoring 4 touchdowns, he allowed a passer rating of 122 in coverage last season, which points to some inconsistency that Miami will likely scrutinize closely. Still, the Dolphins could view him as a useful addition who brings experience to a cornerback group largely made up of younger players, potentially providing mentorship and depth as they plot their defensive strategy for the upcoming season. Financial considerations play a crucial role in whether Miami ultimately inks Rasul Douglas, and this is where the story gets even more intriguing. Barry Jackson from the Miami Herald highlights that the Dolphins and Douglas have maintained ongoing communication throughout the offseason, with their contract negotiations showing promise of reaching an agreement. The two sides have reportedly not been far apart on the terms, which opens the door for a deal to materialize as summer progresses. Given Miami's current salary cap space, which hovers near $14 million, the team has some wiggle room to invest in a veteran cornerback like Douglas on a short-term contract. This cap flexibility means that the Dolphins could afford to take a calculated gamble, signing Douglas for 1 year to assess his fit within their defensive schemes without a long-term commitment, balancing risk and reward in a competitive NFL market. When considering Rasul Douglas alongside other free agent cornerbacks available this offseason, the Dolphins face a competitive marketplace that could influence their decision-making. Veterans such as Stephon Gilmore, who recently confirmed his intention to return for a 14th NFL season, Mike Hilton, Asante Samuel Jr., and James Bradberry all remain on the market and represent alternative options for Miami. Each of these players brings different strengths and profiles, adding complexity to the Dolphins' decision tree. Douglas stands out as a player known to be on Miami's radar, sharing that distinction with Samuel and Bradberry. The Dolphins' front office will need to weigh the pros and cons of each candidate's experience, skill set, and salary demands before finalizing any deal. The choice will likely reflect both immediate needs and the longer-term vision for the secondary's makeup. Miami's strategic direction after the Ramsey trade indicates a willingness to blend youth and veteran savvy on their roster, and signing Rasul Douglas would fit neatly within that framework. Douglas offers a combination of NFL experience and physicality that could bolster a secondary searching for stability and reliability. Although his coverage stats have had ups and downs, his presence could provide a tangible upgrade over less proven players, particularly in nickel or dime packages. This veteran presence might also serve as a bridge, helping younger cornerbacks acclimate to the speed and complexity of the NFL game. If Douglas can recapture some of his peak form, the Dolphins secondary would gain not just a player, but also a mentor figure, which can be invaluable in a sport where experience often translates to on-field success and better communication. The Timing of the potential Douglas signing also merits attention. With training camp looming and roster battles heating up, Miami needs to move decisively to solidify its cornerback room. The offseason has already been eventful, with significant roster moves including Ramsey's departure and Waller's surprising comeback. Adding Douglas before camp would give the coaching staff more options and depth to work with during preseason practices and games, allowing them to evaluate how he fits into their defensive schemes. The pressure to fill the cornerback void grows as the calendar inches toward the season opener, making any deal involving Douglas a critical piece in Miami's puzzle. Fans will be watching closely for official announcements or insider reports that signal the next step in this ongoing negotiation. Wow. The Dolphins weigh their options. Rasul Douglas's perspective on his future offers further intrigue. Although he does not envision returning to the Packers, the team that initially drafted him, he remains open to opportunities with other franchises, Miami included. This openness suggests Douglas is motivated to prove himself and carve out a role where he can contribute meaningfully. For Miami, that could translate into a mutually beneficial partnership, a team needing cornerback depth and leadership, paired with a player hungry for a fresh start and a chance to reestablish his NFL standing. The synergy of these factors could be the key that unlocks a deal before training camp begins, signaling Miami's intent to remain competitive and flexible in a shifting roster landscape. The Dolphins' current cornerback depth chart reveals why adding a player like Rasul Douglas might be so appealing. With the departure of Ramsey and the earlier release of Kendall Fuller, Miami's secondary lacks proven veterans who can be relied upon in high-pressure situations. While younger talents such as Asante Samuel Jr. offer promise and potential, the uncertainty that comes with inexperience cannot be overlooked. Douglas's presence would provide a safety net, an experienced option capable of stepping into the starting lineup or playing significant snaps in sub-packages. His familiarity with various defensive schemes and his ability to play both outside and slot corner roles increases his value to Miami's defensive coordinator, who will want versatile and dependable personnel to match up against increasingly dynamic NFL offenses. Looking beyond the immediate implications of signing Douglas, the Dolphins front office appears to be playing a broader strategic game with their roster moves this offseason. The team's decisions suggest a calculated balance between maintaining cap flexibility and adding experienced pieces where necessary. Bringing in veterans like Darren Waller on offense and potentially Rasul Douglas on defense fits this philosophy, allowing Miami to remain competitive without overcommitting long-term. This approach gives them room to adapt as the season unfolds, addressing emergent needs or injuries without financial strain. For fans and analysts alike, this strategy reveals a front office focused on sustainable team building, blending high-profile moves with measured, savvy acquisitions. In conclusion, the possibility of Rasul Douglas joining the Miami Dolphins offers an intriguing storyline heading into the NFL season. The trade of Jalen Ramsey left a glaring hole in the Dolphins' secondary, one that the team has yet to fully address. Douglas, with his NFL experience and versatility, presents a logical candidate to help fill that void, especially given Miami's cap space and interest. Negotiations appear promising, and the timing ahead of training camp makes this a critical juncture. Whether Douglas will become the next Dolphin remains uncertain, but the potential acquisition underscores Miami's proactive approach to roster management. As the summer progresses, Dolphins fans will be watching eagerly to see if Rasul Douglas becomes a key piece in their defense, adding depth, leadership, and resilience for the battles ahead. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments, what's your take on the Fins this week? The NFL world has been buzzing with whispers and speculation ever since the news started circulating. Derrick Henry, the titan of the Tennessee Titans backfield, might be suiting up in aqua and orange, potentially signing with the Miami Dolphins. Imagine the sheer power and explosiveness of Henry weaving through Miami's offensive schemes, ripping off those monstrous runs that have defined his career. The mere idea of Derrick Henry running behind Miami's offensive line under head coach Mike McDaniel is already sending shockwaves through the league. Fans, analysts, and insiders alike are debating how this seismic shift could reshape the Dolphins' identity and offensive potential. The rumor mill suggests Henry is not just a signing for depth or rotational purposes. No, he's being heralded as the centerpiece of a new attack. A promise, a bold declaration that he's aiming to rush for a staggering 2,000 yards in McDaniel's system, a feat that would cement his place in NFL lore with Miami. Talk about a game changer, right? Derrick Henry's power running style meshes intriguingly with Mike McDaniel's innovative offensive mind. Known for his zone blocking scheme and creative run designs, McDaniel has transformed running games into juggernauts in recent years. Adding Henry to that mix could elevate the Dolphins from an exciting offense to an unstoppable force. The rumor suggests that Henry, fully aware of his physical prime and the clock ticking on his NFL longevity, sees this move as a golden opportunity to put on a new uniform and chase that rare 2,000-yard mark. This is more than a contract. It's a statement of intent from both the player and the franchise. Behind Miami's dynamic receivers and a revitalized offensive line, Henry might just be the missing piece to take the Dolphins to new heights, turning their run game into a relentless beast no defense can tame. Speculation around this signing extends far beyond the field. The Dolphins, desperate to carve out a distinct identity in a division dominated by powerhouse teams, seem to be betting big on Henry's ability to dictate the tempo of games. The buzz is that the front office sees Henry as the cornerstone of their rebuild, a proven workhorse to complement a young, talented squad. If the rumors hold, Miami is ready to reshape its culture around toughness and resilience, embodied perfectly by Henry's bruising style. The weight of expectations could be immense, but also a fresh canvas for Derrick Henry to paint his legacy. In vibrant aqua and orange, it's this potential transformation, both stylistically and culturally, that has the rumor mill spinning wildly, fueling the fire of excitement and anticipation amongst Dolphins fans and NFL watchers nationwide. From a strategic standpoint, the possibilities are tantalizing. Imagine Derrick Henry pounding the rock between the tackles, wearing down defenses while the Dolphins spread the field with their potent passing attack. McDaniel's offense is built for balance and unpredictability, but having Henry in the backfield introduces an added dimension of power that could force opponents into impossible defensive dilemmas. According to whispers from insider circles, Henry's conditioning and physical preparation have reached new heights, suggesting he's ready to sustain a heavy workload throughout the grueling NFL season. If he lives up to the hype, the Dolphins could see a renaissance in their ground game unseen in recent memory. The talk of 2,000 rushing yards isn't just a pipe dream, it's a tangible target within this electrifying new environment. Fans are also buzzing about the impact Henry's arrival could have on Miami's overall offensive philosophy. The rumor hints that McDaniel might tweak his approach, leaning more heavily on the run game to maximize Henry's strengths while keeping defenses honest. This would mark a subtle but significant shift from the Dolphins' recent tendency to favor aerial assaults. Such a recalibration could revitalize Miami's offense, giving it a rugged edge that complements the finesse of its receivers. Derrick. Henry's presence on the field would not only bring brute force but also a veteran leadership that could uplift younger players. The chatter suggests that his work ethic and competitive spirit could infuse the entire locker room with renewed energy and a fierce will to win. This potential signing is stirring up excitement far beyond just yardage stats. It's about redefining Miami's DNA. Beyond just the tactical implications, the rumor sparks intriguing narratives about Derrick Henry's career trajectory. After years of dominating with Tennessee, there's a sense that Henry is seeking fresh challenges and a chance to solidify his legacy with a new team. The Miami Dolphins, with their vibrant fan base and sunny locale, might offer the perfect stage for a new chapter. Speculators suggest Henry's motivation isn't just personal glory, but the desire to lead a franchise hungry for playoff success. The promise of 2,000 yards in a system designed by McDaniel signals Henry's confidence in the Dolphins' potential and his own ability to elevate the team. Whether this move happens or remains just a tantalizing rumor, it's clear that the buzz surrounding Derrick Henry in Miami is electric, stirring passionate debates and hopeful dreams among football aficionados everywhere. Insiders also hint at the broader league implications of this potential signing. Derrick Henry in Miami could disrupt the balance of power in the AFC East, challenging the Patriots, Bills, and Jets in ways we haven't seen before. The idea of Henry wearing the Dolphins' colors creates a ripple effect, forcing rival teams to reconsider their defensive game plans. The pressure on Miami's offensive line to protect and create lanes for Henry will be immense, but the rumor suggests that the front office is ready to back this move with investments in key offensive linemen. This strategic bolstering could be the foundation for the Dolphins to become a legitimate Super Bowl contender. The possibility of Derrick Henry driving Miami's rushing attack adds a thrilling subplot to the upcoming NFL season. And the chatter only grows louder with every passing day. Media speculation is also rife with comparisons between Henry's current skill set and how perfectly it fits Miami's offensive blueprint. McDaniel's reputation for extracting the best out of his running backs aligns with Henry's playing style and work ethic. Sources close to the team whisper that Henry's physical dominance combined with McDaniel's creative play calling could lead to some of the most exciting football Miami has seen in years. There's talk about how this partnership might reinvent the way the Dolphins approach each game, balancing high-octane offense with a grounded, methodical rushing game. The 2,000-yard mark isn't just about numbers, it's a symbol of Henry's expected impact and Miami's broader ambitions. This rumor has set off a chain reaction of excitement and speculation that might define the upcoming offseason. What's also catching attention is the fan reaction and social media frenzy sparked by this rumor. Dolphin supporters are dreaming big, envisioning Derrick Henry's punishing runs lighting up Hard Rock Stadium. Meanwhile, NFL fans nationwide are divided, some doubting if Henry can sustain such a historic rushing season, others thrilled at the prospect of one of the league's premier backs joining a rising team. This rumor has quickly evolved into a viral topic, trending across platforms and fueling heated debates. The anticipation is palpable, with everyone eager to see if this bold signing will come to fruition. The promise of Henry rushing for 2,000 yards in Miami is more than just an off-season story. It's a tantalizing glimpse into what might be a transformational era for both player and franchise. Ultimately, whether Derrick Henry officially signs with the Miami Dolphins or not remains shrouded in mystery, but the impact of this rumor alone is undeniable. It has ignited hopes and expectations, adding layers of intrigue to an already captivating NFL narrative. The notion of Henry donning the aqua and orange and promising a 2,000-yard season under Mike McDaniel is a story that writes itself, one full of power, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. For Miami, it could mean a seismic shift in their fortunes. For Henry, a chance to etch his name even deeper in the annals of football history. As the NFL offseason unfolds, all eyes will be on this potential blockbuster move, eagerly awaiting confirmation or denial. Until then, the rumor remains a thrilling and tantalizing possibility. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you'll never miss a splash. Fins up.